Don't know. A lot of women here, that's cool. I like women. Mother's a woman, that helps. You know what's bug? Like, whenever my female friends start talking about, my boyfriend's crazy. I didn't know he was crazy. I didn't know he was out of his mind. He just flipped. Women, if you want to know if your man is crazy or not, just check out his relationship with his mother. So all you got to do, check out his relationship with his mother. Because he's like, hey, Mom, fuck you. Kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck. I'll put this foot up your ass. If he's like that, then you're next. Late to school, late to work. So, women, man. Women. I don't know, man. The older you get, the more shit you learn about. One thing you learn about women, man. Women don't like nice guys. Say they do, don't. They got to have an asshole first. Every woman goes through an asshole phase. They got to go with Ike, then Mike. That's right. You know what's bad? If you're a nice guy like me, you always get women after they've been out with an asshole. So now you got to be their boyfriend and their psychiatrist to help them get over this psycho. That's right. For every 20 minutes of pussy, 3 hours of therapy. You know what's wild? It starts at childhood. Little girls like little bad boys. Like a little boy gives little girl Valentine's Day card. She don't want him. She don't want nothing to do with him. She wants a little boy that just punched her in the back and ran down the hall. Ooh, I love him. He's so cute. Then you grow up and you marry that same little boy. And next thing you know, you're on Oprah going, I don't know what I did to deserve this. It just ain't right. But yo, you picked that man. You chose that man. You know, you could have had nice boy Roy, but you picked ass whoop McGee. Oprah, I love ass whoop. He's a good man. In between absence, he reads poetry. The violets are blue, roses are red. Time to kick a bitch in the head. And ass whoop McGee original. I don't know, women. You know, cool thing about women, man, I like about women. A woman can fall in love with an ugly man and admit it. Show him off to all her friends and her family. Be the ugliest guy in the world. And they'll be so proud of that ugly man. They'll hold his hand, drag him around the place, introduce him to people like, this is Kevin. I want you to meet Kevin. I know he's not that attractive, but he's good to me. Men aren't like that. A man will never admit to being in love with an ugly woman, okay? We'll hide that shit to the death. We ain't telling nobody. Shit, we could be getting married. Say, hey, man, I heard you get married. Who told you that? Don't spread no rumors, all right? Yo, some of you women don't know if you're ugly or not. Gotta give yourself a test. Just a little test. Don't be scared. Yo, if you've been over a guy's house more than 4 times, been fucked every time, and haven't met anybody in the house, he don't think you look that good. Like, every time you go over, all you see is one room. But I gotta pee. Hold it in. I know that's mean. Men, we got women we just fuck but won't take out. Oh, that's mean. That's right. We got women we just fuck but won't take out. But women, y'all just as mean. Y'all got men you let take you out, but you won't fuck. This guy's on dates right now. Ain't getting shit. So yeah, I'm gonna loosen her up with a little comedy. She's like, ain't nothing that funny. That's right, you can't ha-ha your way into this. See, that's the problem with men. We always think we could buy sex. Like, if I take it here, she give me some. If I buy this, she give me some. Nothing gets you none. Shit, a woman knows she's gonna fuck you within the first 5 minutes of meeting you. Women know on the handshake, they shaking hands like, I'm gonna fuck him. I hope he don't say nothing stupid. That's right, can't say nothing stupid because women are all about the mood. That's right. If she's in the mood, then shut up. Let it happen. So if you say the wrong thing, them panties are coming up fast and you go, my God. Like, excuse me, what you say? Telling you, man. I don't know. Relationships, rough. Easy to get in one. Easy to get in a relationship. Hard to maintain. You know, it's like in marriage. Marriage, to me, is not even a natural state to be married for life. Anything for life just promotes laziness, okay? Marriage shouldn't be for life. Marriage should be like a driver's license. 5 years and renew. shit. Love that 4th year. Ooh, it'd be good, man. It's rough, man. It's hard, man. It's hard to maintain a relationship, man. Because at some point, no matter who it is, at some point you have heard everything this person has to say. You heard it all. You know what they get ready to say before they even say it. You remember that time? Yeah, I remember. They ever tell you, yeah, you told me. You've heard it all. And then what happens? You stop talking. Have a breakdown in communication. Yet you gotta talk. Because women love to talk. Women love to talk. If they had talking in the Olympics, a man wouldn't stand a chance. Women love to talk. And fellas, women don't want us to talk to them. They just want us to set them up. That's all women want you to do. If you're in a relationship with a woman, it's like being in a comedy team and you're the straight man. Just set her up, feed her lines. All the women want you to do is go, how was your day? That's all the fuck they want. How was your day? Because how was your day is a half-hour conversation to a woman. It's a whole half hour. And you as the man, the only thing you got to do is go, uh-huh, get out of here. Really? Get out of here. I told you that bitch is crazy. But eventually, hey, women, you talk too much. You do. You got to learn how to turn it down a little bit. You ever notice no man comes straight home? No man comes straight home. Every man in here has to go somewhere as soon as he gets off work. He got to go drink something, snort something, shoot something in his veins, something to get him ready for the talking that he's about to hear. Something to deaden his senses. And women, it's not that you talk too much. You talk too much as soon as we get in the house. As soon as we get in the door. You ain't gonna believe it. Guess what happened? You ain't gonna believe that. You ain't gonna believe what happened today. And guess what happened? Hey, let me get in the fucking house. Let me get my other foot in there. Shit, come on. Let me read the paper. Let me have something to eat. Let me take a shit. Damn. Y'all gotta go. Y'all be cool.
You've been to a bus station, it's kind of scary. People walking around dirty, wearing rags, babbling, shaking, drooling. That's why no one ever blows up a bus station.
Well, you look pretty good tonight. At least you saw you look great. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. What are you doing? Stevie Wonder.
Jesus, I'm trying to get my life together, man. I'm trying to get a little religion in my life. Just a little. Just a little. Because religion's kind of like salt. A sprinkle's good, but too much will fuck up the meal. I mean, I'm basically trying to find God before God finds me. But God never finds you at a good time. You're never sitting courtside at a Knicks game, getting a hand job from Halle Berry, and God shows up. She strokes a good dick, don't she? I made her. I made your dick too. Enjoy the game. God never shows up at those times. No, God shows up after you've been raped in jail. And you're in jail for parking tickets. Now, if you're in jail for murder and somebody's raping you, you're like, okay, I guess this is what I deserve. I did kill somebody. Now somebody's killing my ass. Rape on. But if you in jail for parking tickets and somebody's fucking you in your ass, you're like, I should have moved that car. What was I thinking? I thought it was Good Friday. They keep moving Easter. trying to find God before God finds me. You know, a lot of religion in the news, man. You ever watch the news? It's always like, they're always talking about religious extremists. We're at war with extremists. Extremists. What is a religious extremist? A religious extremist is a person that extremely believes in God. You think you believe in God. No, they extremely believe in God. Like, God coming back on Wednesday at 2:30. I got tickets. Fantasia is opening for him. I hear Charlie Wilson might stop by. That's right. Religious extremists extremely believe in God and occasionally blow shit up. Which is really odd when you think about it. Because if you truly believe in God, you believe that God created the earth, the moon, the stars, the sun. You believe that God is the most powerful being in the universe. So if you believe God's the most powerful being in the universe, why would he need your help? What is that shit? And that's right. Helping God, and it's never nobody smart helping God out. It's never Malcolm Gladwell or Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's always some motherfucker that was working at Circuit City 2 weeks ago. It's like, what the fuck? Wasn't you loading trucks 2 weeks ago? Now you're helping out God? That is some promotion. What the fuck is going on? I mean, here's the thing. I think the act of helping God is sacrilegious. If you think you can help God out, you don't believe in God. That's right. If you really had faith, you would really have faith. I mean, check this out. I haven't been to church in 10 years. Now that's believing in God. Shit, you go every week because you don't trust God. Nah, man, but I love religion, man. I love watching religion, studying religion. The cool thing about religion is, like, no matter who you pray to, no matter what you study, every religion follows one basic premise, one basic idea that every religion follows. And that premise is God doesn't make mistakes. Every religion believes that. Everybody. God does not make mistakes. I say, God does not make mistakes. Okay, God don't make no mistakes? That's okay. That's a pretty ambitious thing to say. No mistakes? You ever read the Bible? What does the Bible say happened on the seventh day? God rested. Okay. Seems odd that a perfect being would rest. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been performing a task? It was going perfect, and you took a rest? Has that ever happened in your life? No. That has never fucking happened to you. What was happened to you was you were performing a task, you fucked up, and you thought, let me rest before I fuck this up some more. God doesn't make mistakes. Hush your mouth. God made plenty of mistakes. You ever see a porcupine? Can't eat it, can't hug it. It's ugly, sticky, shitting all over the place. Mistake. What about quicksand? Sand, you can drown it. You can drown dry. You think God meant to make quicksand? Mistake. You ever been to Mississippi? Mistake. Missspake. fucking kidding me? Just a big hunk of racist dirt. Fucking Mississippi. I was there a couple of months ago. I couldn't even tell what year it was. That's how fucked up and ghetto that shit was. Like, god damn. You know what Mississippi's like? You know, like when you go to the Caribbean? You know, like when you go to the Caribbean, you land and you get in that van, that drive, that scary ass drive from the airport to the resort, and you're looking out the window, you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? Oh my God! Whoa! You see little kids eating dreadlocks? You see Shabba Ranks stabbing a dog? Shabba, 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 Shabba. See, people looking like they never saw a car before. Will. And then you get to the resort and you're like, Jamaica's nice. It's so nice. We should invite your mother. Shit. They give you one pina colada and you forgive the worst poverty you've ever seen. You take one sip, you're like, that baby wasn't really dead, right? I can't wait to jet ski.
Has been doing comedy for over 40 years. He's done 10 HBO specials. He has a best-selling book called Brain Droppings. Please welcome George Carlin.
I did 2 more while I was back there.
Okay. George Carlin.
Good to see you, my friend.
Okay. George Carlin, you are by far, you're easily one of the greatest comedians ever to live.
All right.
Easily.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Okay, yeah.
You are.
Okay.
You know, people take you for granted in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, because like you and a guy like, say, Cosby, because you've always been doing it forever. And like, do you feel that, say, like if you had some crazy tragedy in your life, people wouldn't take you for granted? Because, like, you know, Pryor burnt up.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce died, Kennison died, and you're like right here chilling.
The penalty of living.
The penalty of living.
Yeah. Well, you know what happens? A lot of people say, "Hey, how you doing? How you been? I love that stuff. 1972, I saw you." And I go, "Oh yeah, well, last 25 years, been some more." And I bring them right up. I say, "You watch HBO? Did you get the book? Do that, and then we'll talk some more in the airport." You know. Well, yeah. You do want people to know the accumulated record. You know, not just a spotty little this and that.
Yeah, because people are like, Carlin. Yeah?
Yeah. It depends. So there's other people that are hooked in good,
right.
You know, hooked in real strong, and then they'll tell you back what you did, and you say, "Oh, I don't remember that." Well, you did it, and I saw it.
Okay, now, one of your biggest things ever was the 7 words you can never say on television. It was piss, shit.
You want the right order?
What was the order?
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Said fuck twice. I know. Motherfucker shouldn't count because it's a derivative of fuck, but I put it in anyway.
Yeah, because when you put mother and fucker together, it's just...
It's a better word.
Yeah, it's nothing's faster than a motherfucker.
That's right.
Nothing jumps higher, nothing stronger. Now, you know what's weird? Now you can say tits now a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. See, that's just it. And the interesting thing was you couldn't say tits, but you could say bazooms, you could go like this, you could say knockers, you could say knobs, but tits, and it's a cute word.
You can say because tits are cute.
It sounds like a snack.
But they won't let you say titty.
No. It's a strange. You know why? You know why I have all that inconsistent stuff? Because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit to start with. You know, they can talk about fucking. You can talk about fucking. You can say, you know, you're gonna, and everybody goes, I know what he's talking about. Or in the newspaper, they can say F ... Well, everybody knows what it means, so the thought has been conveyed, and that's all language is. And you know, I don't say fuck. It's a family newspaper. How do you think the family got started? Fucking. That's what it is.
You know what's wild? Now, you did the seven words you can't say. Is there anything you can't say now?
I don't know.
That gets people.
I got what I like to do. I like to bother people. I like to find out where the line is, sort of sense where the line is drawn, and then deliberately cross it, and drag the audience with you, and have them happy that you did it. That's the key. Once you get them over there, they say that was good. So I'm doing my next HBO a year from December, about 13 months from now. And I'm just working on things because, like there's one taboo in this country, I think, religion. And I really am all out attacking religion every chance I get because I just don't believe in that stuff. I think it's the worst thing that ever happened to mankind. And I get after them all the time. But that's not the only thing. Kids in this country, there's too much attention to children in this country. Every time you turn around, it's kids. And they're hiding behind kids because all they're trying to do is censor you again and take your drugs away in the name of their kids. In the name of the kids. They're trying to roll back the 60s, man. So I get after them, and I like to get in there and just bother them a little bit. There's got to be some thought with it. It's not just shock them and do that. You have to have some thought and some ideas underneath it, but then just to make them go like this a little bit in their chairs. That's what I like. Oh, yeah. That's important to me.
It might not be you. It might be a loose disc.
Yes, that's all right. Well, I'll loosen it up a little more.
It's bugged out. You came up 50s, 60s, doing this edgy stuff, and I was like, did you feel alone at the time? Because I'm like I remember like the old Dean Martin roast, and like your crew, like your contemporaries are guys like Alan King and other guys doing like "Take My Wife Please" jokes and stuff.
Right. Yeah, the old line stand-ups. Yeah. Well, I came out of coffee houses, though. I got lucky. I came out of coffee houses and folk rooms.
Alan King's cool before he shoots you or something. But
I came out of places where irreverence was a part of the deal. Coffee houses and folk rooms. The whole idea there was to be a little bit anti-establishment, to be a little bit against the stream. So I came out of that and always felt comfortable being alone. Always felt good as a kid. Loved it when my mother didn't come home on time. Boy, I'd say, oh, this is nice, man. I'll make some spaghetti and listen to the Lone Ranger, To be alone is good. And I never really took part in show business. I'd show up. I didn't really contribute, like they'd put me in the bunny number. You had to do with your variety shows, and they get you in the bunny number at the end. I had to do a little of that, but once I turned the corner, I left.
Yeah, when you were around like bad comedy.
Yeah.
Or not even bad comedy, just that other shit.
Yeah, right. That big lame thing.
There's this thing you do, and then there's that other shit.
That's right. And I lived through, the hardest years of my life were the 3 or 4 years when I was doing straight, mainstream, bullshit television shows, because I thought I wanted to be like a Danny Kaye or something. My dream from a kid was still like that. I wanted to be in the movies and go like this for people. And I didn't know that my head...
Like this?
I didn't know my head was different. I didn't understand that. I thought if I thought about it at 9 years of age, it must still be valid when I'm 21. But it wasn't. And I finally, boom, that clicked in from the acid. Thank God for acid. That's what happened.
So now that hard work stuff is bullshit.
Well, it don't hurt.
Acid. Somebody give me some acid right now. I got people around here to get me shit, but no one ever gets me acid.
But I'll tell you this. That's why they put it on that list of bad drugs, because they know it opens up the mind. It can be dangerous. I ain't saying it's not dangerous in some way. You take too much, take the wrong kind, get it from the wrong
where do you get your acid from?
That's
because I want the good stuff.
I don't need it anymore because it's a self-limiting drug. It's the kind of drug that you take it a few times and it tells you, that's enough, we're cool, now we're happening. And that's what happened to me.
As opposed to
shit like this and shit like that. And
like this?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you shoot up directly in the neck to get it to your head quicker.
Or so you hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the neck?
Well, the temple would be quick, wouldn't it? Right in the temple, no waiting, no delay. I never did shoot up, so I'm just talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
I never did. No, I grew up in a neighborhood with plenty of smack in the 50s and never got to the smack. The grass was enough. Boy, I'd get some of that grass and a couple of beers and just lay back and wonder why those guys were puking. You know? That's all I needed. No, never did shoot up. Never did use it.
Now, what's the worst thing that happened to you? What's it like just opening up? I never heard the George Carlin horror stories.
Well, I did an awful lot of cocaine during the 70s. When I did that stuff, I did tons of it. Yeah, tons. Yeah, well, you knew that shit. And I just would get out there, and my jaw wouldn't work, you know? You know how locked up
I know crackheads whose jaws don't work.
you get like that, man. And you know what you're thinking is good. Fortunately, they liked me, and they would wait, you know, for my mouth to start working. But I don't have any of those. I'm not one of those guys that has a story. You know, like every comedian, like these old guys, especially me, and they say, you mention a name, and I say, oh, let me tell you about Al Jolson. And they got a story for everything. I got no stories because I don't remember a goddamn thing, man. I remember nothing.
Thank you very much.
Sure,
man.
my pleasure. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you if I could list you as my emergency contact.
Absolutely. I'm the guy. You should call me if anything goes wrong. Like Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction.
And if anything happens, you'll raise my husband and son?
Yes.
Can I have like kind of a dope funeral?
The Reverend CeeLo Green is going to perform the service.
Yes.
The catering is going to be done by Roscoe's.
Wow. Thank you.
So good. People are going to be rooting for your death.
Thank you so much. You thought of everything.
George Carlin behind you, you know, that's
Yeah.
holy grail right there, man.
Oh my God, I know.
The first time I met him, he said, I'm not in show business. I'm a comedian.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Like, George was gangster.
Yeah.
This is What a Joke
With Tom Papa and Fortune Feimster.
on Netflix is a Joke Radio.
The first cut's an hour. Boom. And we're all trained now that these specials have to be 59 minutes with your credits. Done. Hour. That's all people can take. This cut felt more streamlined and faster at a longer time than the original cut in a way. So I guess that thing of, oh, it's got to be 50 minutes. No one's going to listen to you longer than that. Throw that out the window.
Yeah, it's art. There's no rules in art.
Yeah. But nobody breaks them. I mean, that's to your credit.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to start with an interview, and I love that. It was like right out the gate, like a funny, joyous story.
It was one of these jokes. You ever a joke you only did once?
Mm-hmm.
I literally only did that White House story once.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was, the last party at the White House. First of all, you been to the White House?
Yes.
It's amazing.
It's
You
unbelievable.
walk in, you see these humongous portraits of the presidents everywhere you go, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there, and it's me, and Amir's there, and Jay-Z, Beyonce, Oprah, Steve. It's like I died and went to black heaven, right? And then they ring a bell, and you got to go watch the entertainment, right? So it's me, Charles Barkley, and Jay-Z go in this room and watch the entertainment. First, it was Herbie Hancock, and he was amazing, like boom, 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 boom. And then Stevie Wonder, like, kind of snatches the mic from Herbie Hancock, right? And starts playing his stuff, like, and put some extra blind in it. You know what I mean? Like, put some. Put some extra. You know what I mean?
You've always been a part of whenever I prep a special, because Wanda Sykes is one of my good friends, and she's like, Chris always told me that when you make a special, it's got to be special. And so none of this crap. You need to work on your jokes.
No regulars.
Yes.
A lot of regulars out there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of regulars.
I saw this on the menu yesterday. What are you talking about?
I remember talking to you at one point about specials, and you were talking about your first one, how you would study specials, how you had, back then, VCR tapes and would watch all, like, almost like game films. You are the first comedian to take a special and then redo the whole thing and bring it back out. Why'd you decide to do it?
First of all, the George Floyd thing went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching CNN, and they used a clip from Tambourine with this whole joke I did about cops and bad apples.
Yeah.
And then CNN used the clip, and then I keep seeing the clip everywhere, and people are sending it to me. And they always say the same thing. It's like, well, it's not most cops. It's just a few bad apples. It's just a few bad apples. Bad apple. That's a lovely name for murderer. It's like, how'd they get that one? Bad apple. That almost sounds nice. I mean, I've had a bad apple. It was tart, but it didn't choke me out. I call the editor. I call my editor friend, Michael Schultz, who does all my specials. And I go, is there any more stuff there? Mm-hmm. Any more cop stuff?
Yeah.
And so we opened it up and we started looking at it. And we're like, not only is there more police stuff here, there's like a lot of jokes here.
Yeah.
So he just compiled all these jokes that just didn't make the special. And I looked at it, I was like, okay, maybe I can look at this a different way. Another side thing is I'm friends with Rick Rubin. Mm-hmm. And they did a reissue of the Tom Petty Wildflowers album. I don't know if you're a Tom Petty fan.
Yeah, of course.
And played me like 8 new songs, right? Normally that means normally when you hear like a reissue or whatever and these extra songs, you can clearly hear why these things aren't on the album.
Right.
Not that they're bad, but sometimes they're too much like another song that's already on the album, right?
Right.
So I listened to the Wildflowers thing. Every song was amazing.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck? Why are these songs so good? He's like, well, Tom wanted to put out a double album. The label was like, double album's going to be hard to sell. It was like, these songs are amazing. With that in mind, I was like, okay, let me see what this will look like.
Right.
And we started cutting and started, refiguring stuff and actually took some jokes out and tried to make it a different experience. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I didn't even say anything to Netflix. I was just, spending my own money, just tinking around in the studio.
Right.
And I got a cut and I was like, wow, this is good. And I called Netflix and they're like, fuck you. Paying you for again the same special.
Double dipping.
Fuck you. And they didn't say fuck you, but they were like, well, why would we,
Yeah.
Really? And then we sent it over. And after they watched it, they're like, hey, there's something here.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time I've done something weird with a special. I mean,
right.
A couple of specials ago, I shot what's the special? Kill the Messenger in 4 different countries.
Yeah.
I've always been into this thing where stand-up is an art form.
Yeah.
In an art form, somebody should be taking chances.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's interesting is Bo Burnham directed this first pass, and he was kind of pushing it in an artistic way in certain ways.
Let me go on the record right now. This is not, because I read, I think, something in the New York Times and it was like I got rid of his vision and all of this stuff. No. I love Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
I love that version of the special.
Yeah.
I love Tambourine. Tambourine originally, whatever, is like the special I was dying to make my whole career. So this is not like, we got it wrong or any of that bullshit. go on tour, you shoot the special, you shoot the live show, and a lot of people, they get too enamored with the live show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you get in there and you get in that editing room, when you get in that Avid, it's like you're making a new piece of art. Some jokes become more important than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some things seem like that was just a throwaway in that special. And in this one, it's like a whole bit. You know?
Right. You could actually get into the editing room and make something that the audience didn't really see.
Depends on the current climate too.
Yes, it does depend on, yes. 'Cause there's some of the trope stuff I took out, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we're done with that.
Why did you make that choice?
Just some of it was just, some Omarosa joke. It's like, okay, no need for that. You gotta give, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that thing killed in St. Louis. You're not in St. Louis anymore.
Yeah.
You're on this screen, and now you have to make a new piece of art. And sometimes you can have an order that you've been doing for 3 years, and then when you get in that room, you're like, oh man, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna move that whole hunk over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's gonna play better. Because sometimes, I mean, come on, we're comics, and any good comic, any good artist is 80% insecurity and 20% ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like 80% like total fear and 20% fucking ego. So a lot of the things you're doing on stage is just fucking fear.
Yeah. Terror.
You're like, I'm trying not to have a panic attack.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, it's just like you're just making, you think you have the most artistic set, but it's really the most secure set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't die.
You know what I mean?
I don't think anyone would ever assume that you had nerves or fear when watching your stand-up.
I mean, preparation is just fear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, it's it's not panic, but
Right.
Just like over preparing.
Right.
It's like, oh, I have a special. Oh, how much time do you have to do on the special? Well, they want 60 minutes. How much time do you have? 2 hours and 12. That's fear.
Do you normally have that many jokes over the hour
Yeah,
that you shoot?
kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm on tour, I try to have I try to have 2 hours at my disposal,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to do about an hour 40.
Wow.
Yeah, same. Like,
59, 30.
I'm like, oh, I gotta start writing.
A lot of that too is it's the house I'm playing. So
Mm-hmm.
I always look at it this way. It's like, if I'm playing a club, they'll get an hour 10.
Right.
Height.
Right.
Height.
Hammering.
Oh man. But when you get up in these big theaters or an arena, it's like, well, we just saw Billie Eilish in the same room. We just saw, whoever. We saw Prince in this room.
Yeah.
What we're used to see, the things we're used to seeing in this room are an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they have beginning, middles, ends, crescendos, callbacks.
Costume changes.
Good shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking Radio City. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And you can only bring so many openers.
There's velvet seats. You know what I mean? Like
ushers with bow ties.
ushers with bow ties, a proscenium arch.
Yeah.
Maybe I should give them a show. So I know I said you're not supposed to compete in a relationship, but after you go through that shit, you're like, am I gonna lose my kids? It's like, yo, I'm going hard every time I have my kids. And I always went hard, but I'm going extra hard. It's like, I don't know what you're doing at your mother's house, but we're gonna top that shit. Every motherfucking time, okay? Sometimes I bring guest stars.
I make sure they go back to her with a story. They're like, Mama, Drake helped me with my homework. Lady Gaga made me a grilled cheese sandwich. Y'all think I'm bullshit. Check my Instagram, all right?
How do you do so much and decide what's going to get the priority?
I mean, put it this way. Okay, my first priority is to be funny. Every year, New Year's Eve, where the whole world's going celebrating and counting, on January 1, I put a yellow pad in front of me and I literally write down, where was I funny this year?
Yeah.
Was I funny?
Uh-huh.
Like, that's like the most important thing to me. It's not even if a thing was a hit or a flop or whatever.
Right.
A movie isn't bigger than a talk show. It's just like, basically, was I funny?
Did you ever have any years where you're like,
yeah, some years you're like,
this list is small.
I wasn't very funny this year. So, yes. So that's my first priority, like,
wow.
just to be funny. And then it's kind of whatever, wherever the wind blows me, honestly. I try to read. I don't believe in writer's block. I believe that there's reader's block.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't read a lot, then how can you write a lot?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
True. It's
I gotta
really
get
true.
I gotta get some of those books.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just taking in stuff.
Yeah.
So, try to take in as much stuff as humanly possible. Try to hang around as many comedians and just talk to funny people. But I don't really have a plan. My plan is to be funny. My plan is to be good. My plan is to try to do things I haven't seen and try to approach it like an artist. Comedians are amazing, but we're horrible rock stars. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Because we don't, we just put shit out. We don't fucking
Right.
You know what I mean? There's not a lot of strategy to it.
Yeah, I've always thought of that. Like, I'm like, why don't we tour? Fortune and I talk about this all the time. It's like we just go nonstop. They're like, how long is your tour? 20-year long tour.
Yeah.
I'm always telling guys to take a break. Like Lauren Michaels used to say, you can't make an entrance if you never leave.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of them can't even stop performing now. I'm like, this is the best time to stop.
I mean, but on the other hand, somebody could argue we're not rock stars, we're jazz musicians, and jazz musicians play all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you stop, but you've got something else to take your mind and your creativity, that's one thing. Just to stop, as we're doing now, it's weird to not be around comedians, not be playing.
It is, but on the other hand, like every great artist, you like the Beatles, you like Hemingway, you like whatever. It's always about taking breaks and getting new experiences, and going to India, going to Cuba, and it's like, that's where to me, some of the greatness comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look at a guy like Dave, and he took that big break, and wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, look how creative this guy has been on the level that his comedy has jumped up. And it's like that break is like, I don't say stop being a comedian. I'm just saying, like, if you're always in the studio,
right.
In comics, we all get like this way. Like when you get to that point where it's like all your jokes about, and then I got off the plane, and then I checked in the hotel.
I know.
Hotels are dirty, guys.
Sometimes when I do these gigs, I have to walk around the mall. It's like, no.
There's a world out there.
There's like a whole world out there. It's not just gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can go anywhere. It's just the great thing about stand-up. You can literally talk about anything.
Yeah.
And the goal, the hard thing is just keeping their attention.
Right.
Right.
You're funny. You're gonna be funny no matter what the fuck. Tom motherfucking Papa's gonna be funny no matter what he's talking about.
You know, they used to have signs up that said, whites only. They used to have signs up that said, no blacks allowed. Now they got something new. It's called prices. That's right, prices are the new Jim Crow. You know, the Four Seasons Hotel does not say no blacks allowed. But a $4,000 a night hotel suite show does. Yeah, that ought to handle your nigga problem right there. Prices are the new Jim Crow, baby. You know, Whole Foods does not say no blacks allowed. But a $7 orange show does. So they don't want my black ass in here. There's a couple of white people here going, they don't want us in here either.
You've made a lot of stuff at this point, my friend. It's really,
Yeah.
you're always inspiring.
You inspire all of us, for sure.
Stuff that you say rattles in our minds for the rest of our careers, and
For sure.
it's always great being able to talk to you and see what you're coming up with.
You guys are great. I like this show.
Thank you.
I just like when people take comedy serious, you know?
What was the deal on going public with this learning disorder and everything? I mean, is it just you're an open book and you said, fuck it?
I'm just open book and fuck it. This is who I am. And by the way, it's also a way of apologizing to a lot of people without having to call them up. Because come on, you know, I'm a total fucking weirdo. Anybody that knows me has been around me. It's like, what's up with that guy? Does he like me? You know how many people fucking say that shit, think I don't like him? I suffer from big ego, low self-esteem. And when I say big ego, it's only about telling jokes. If it's got something to do with my work, I'm the baddest motherfucker alive. But anything else, it's like I just feel not worthy of anyone's attention, anyone's love, any accolades, just anything.
I can't tell you that I'm any different. I don't know. I mean, I do know where it comes from. It all stems from your relationship with your parents and how you were raised. It stems from a relation with your parents. It stems from, you went through this, you and I have this in common. Like you went to a black school, I went to a white school. And you have this childhood trauma that you haven't dealt with. And you think you've dealt with it because you're on the radio and you talk about it and you made a lot of money. And I think I've dealt with it because I can write jokes about it, but I never dealt with it. That was just a horrible existence. The closest character I can relate to is Tim Robbins in The Shawshank. Every day was hell. I was a nigga and I got fucking my ass beat and I got physically fucked up and sometimes some sexual shit happened. And yeah, like I wasn't raped, but rape-ish. Don't you remember the name of every kid who beat the shit out of you? I was doing a movie a couple of years ago and one of my bullies was working security on the movie. Shit. A guy who literally one day in school turned me upside down and shook the money out of my pockets. And I'm filming a scene. This is a top 5. And I look and I'm like, is that B? I'll just say B. And he nodded, kind of shame, he was kind of ashamed. And I just gave him just a quick look like, hey man, I hope you're doing well. You take care. And I kept it moving. I didn't like, get him off the set, get him fired. It's like his sin has punished him. He could have been my friend. Right. You know what I mean? He could have been in the trailer with us watching The Godfather. You know what I mean? Like the fact that he had to go through that whole day and watch me walk around and watch me, I was directing a movie and watch me be me in all my glory and to be so close to me, but yet so motherfucking far. Right. You got your revenge. Yeah. I didn't have to do anything. You ever watch Bugs Bunny? Bugs Bunny.
When did Elmer Fudd get really mad at Bugs Bunny? Not when he shot him in the face with an anvil, not when he hit him over the head with a rock. You know when Elmer Fudd got really mad? When Bugs Bunny kissed him.
Yeah, that's true.
That's when he would lose his mind. And when somebody like does you wrong, just give him a kiss.
Holy shit. He said what?
Everybody trying to be a victim. Like, what's this girl? Meghan Markle. Seemed like a nice lady. Just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? And still going on complaining. Acting all dumb like she don't know nothing. Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers?
It started like any other comedy special. Lights down, crowd buzzing, Chris Rock stepping into the spotlight. But what happened next? That wasn't comedy. That was a public execution. And Meghan Markle was the target.
The biggest addiction in America is attention. We are addicted to attention. Easiest way to get attention is to be a victim.
No careful buildup. No dancing around names. Rock went straight for the jugular. In under 60 seconds, he turned her from victim of the press into punchline of the decade.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up, because it's one of my favorites.
They're so racist. They're so racist. Some of the she went through was not racism. It was just some in-law because she's complaining. I'm like, what the is she talking about? No, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist, because even black people want to know.
And here's what makes it so brutal. It wasn't even the funniest thing he said. The real destruction came in the silence that followed each joke when the audience processed it and realized, yeah, he's right.
What the is she talking about? She didn't know. It's the royal family. They're the original racists.
For years, Meghan had played the sympathetic outsider, the underdog who didn't understand the system. But in one set, Rock flipped the script, exposing her as the exact opposite, entitled Manipulative and Hungry for the Very Fame She Pretended to Despise. And that, my friends, was just the opening blow. Because what came after wasn't just mockery, it was a chain reaction. And it all began the moment Rock told the world she was no Cinderella.
Posting up pathetic pictures. This is me eating sushi. Like me. This is me 25 years ago when I was hot. Like me. Oh, it's fucking sad.
The thing about Meghan's public image, it was built on a single, fragile idea. That she was blindsided by the weight of royal life. That she was the innocent Hollywood actress, wandering into a palace like a fairy tale princess, only to discover a cold, cruel world. It's a nice story, until someone calls it what it is, pure fiction.
Hey, it's the husband formerly known as Prince. Any luck getting a job?
Oh, they had me driving for Uber Eats, but there were too many damn rules. Don't touch the food. Don't taste the food. Drive on the road.
I'm sorry, Rowdy Reddy.
Chris Rock didn't tiptoe around it. He didn't question her narrative. He set it on fire. He compared her ignorance of the royal family to a basketball player claiming they'd never heard of the NBA. And the crowd lost it. It was sharp, it was simple, and it was impossible to argue with. In that moment, the illusion cracked. Because let's be honest, Meghan didn't just stumble into royalty. She researched it. She dated a prince for years. She walked into that palace with her eyes wide open and a camera-ready smile.
That she was hunting for a man in England. She wanted wealth and she wanted fame. And she targeted Harry.
And Chris Rock? He just gave the audience permission to admit what they'd been thinking all along. That's the real power of a joke like his. It doesn't just make you laugh, it pulls the mask off, slowly, in front of a crowd that's suddenly realizing maybe they've been conned. And the most devastating part, Meghan wasn't in the room to defend herself. But she didn't have to be, because from that night on, the poor Meghan act was finished. Every late night host, every satirist, every Twitter account with a Wi-Fi signal now had blood in the water. What Rock did in under 5 minutes would take her PR team years, maybe decades, to undo. A perfect roast doesn't just land, it detonates.
The f*** is she talking about? I didn't know. That's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot.
Hours after Chris Rock's special dropped, his Meghan takedown was everywhere. TikTok loops, Twitter clips, YouTube breakdowns with freeze frames of audience members doubled over. And then the comedy world pounced. In Britain, the gloves came off instantly. Comics painted Meghan and Harry as walking contradictions, obsessed with status while pretending to reject it, cashing massive Netflix checks under the banner of purpose.
Babe,
Time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
The Duchess of Sussex shared a photo of herself cuddling her daughter on Instagram and a never-before-seen picture from her birth.
Their barbs were dry, cutting, and delivered with the kind of disdain only lifelong royal watchers can muster. Across the Atlantic, late-night hosts smelled the same blood. They mocked the brand deals, the self-pity.
And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
The infamous "We want privacy" line, hammering it so hard you could almost hear the palace laughing.
We want privacy! We want privacy! Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy. How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy!
5 minutes later.
Who's filming this?
The worst part? The jokes started overlap. Comedians who'd never shared a stage were making identical cracks. That's not coincidence. That's the moment a narrative flatlines. By week's end, Meghan wasn't a misunderstood duchess or an ex-actress. She was the comedy world's newest running gag, a human headline whose contradictions were too easy, too obvious, and too funny for any comic to ignore. The roast had gone global, and it wasn't stopping.
Meghan Markle, the only thing she found was a rich, famous husband.
The nearest thing Meghan Markle ever had to a billion-dollar idea was marrying a prince.
If Chris Rock lit the match, the internet dumped gasoline on. Within days, Meghan's most awkward moments weren't just being mocked. They were being turned into viral currency. TikTok creators stitched her interviews with clips of rolling eyes, sarcastic voiceovers, and laugh tracks ripped from sitcoms.
Best way to have a snack is to take the snack out of one bag and then move them into another bag and then label this new bag, even though this bag already has a label on it. Tap water!
That bizarre snack rebagging scene from her Netflix show, meme gold. The celebrity name drops, cut into compilations labeled Meghan's Imaginary Friends. Twitter turned savage. Screenshots of her contradictions, privacy pleas alongside staged paparazzi shots spread like wildfire. Users didn't just share them. They weaponized them with captions so brutal they didn't need punchlines.
My name is Megan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
YouTube creators dissected her interviews frame by frame, pointing out rehearsed expressions, calculated pauses, and lines that sounded like PR copy gone bad. Suddenly, she wasn't a duchess telling her truth. She was a character in an ongoing soap opera, and the audience had switched from sympathy to pure mockery.
Oh my God, that hat. Oh God, he's so hot. Look at him. Isn't Prince Harry? She bagged a fox.
The most dangerous part, memes move faster than damage control. By the time her team could draft a rebuttal, the next Vera. By the time her team could draft a rebuttal, the next viral joke had already replaced it. The internet wasn't just laughing at Meghan, it was erasing whatever dignity she had left. If the internet was a wildfire, late night TV was the flamethrower. Night after night, Meghan and Harry became the go-to joke, the easy laugh that didn't even need setup anymore.
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
On Saturday Night Live, they weren't portrayed as rebels or victims. They were cast as a clueless royal dropout and his fame-chasing wife, stumbling through a world they didn't understand but desperately wanted to monetize. The skits were exaggerated, but not by much.
Meghan, you have been working so hard. Oh my God. You're probably the hardest worker in the world. I don't know anybody that's worked as hard as you. I don't know, I'm just doing my best.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Jimmy Fallon zeroed in on the absurd details. Meghan claiming they were married before the royal wedding.
Another big revelation was that Meghan said that she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding. Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch two married people get married.
Harry's bizarre oversharing in his memoir. Their habit of turning mundane inconveniences into trauma. Even Stephen Colbert, hardly known for being ruthless, dropped lines that made the audience wince and laugh at the same time.
Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
The magic of late night mockery is repetition. The same jokes get told so often by so many hosts that they stop feeling like comedy and start feeling like truth.
If I'm going to succeed in America, I need a lifestyle brand of creams and supplements. Gwyneth Paltrow has Goop, Kourtney Kardashian has Poosh, and Jamie Lee Curtis has Poogert. Now I've got mine, Meg Goo, celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
Within weeks, Meghan wasn't just a controversial figure. She was a fixed part of the late night script, a permanent character in an ongoing roast that no amount of PR spin could rewrite. Comedians on club stages didn't bother with subtlety or clever nods. They went straight for Meghan's jugular. Simon Brodkin mocked the Netflix doc as a 6-hour infomercial for self-pity, tearing into its staged sincerity and melodramatic music cues.
Careful, Harry. I spilled some essential oils on the floor.
He ridiculed the idea that bowing to the Queen or curtsying was some kind of traumatic ordeal, comparing it to complaining about having to take your shoes off at the airport. Other comics dug into Harry's own words from Spare, twisting his cringeworthy oversharing into setups that made him sound out of touch, pampered, and embarrassingly insulated from reality.
I don't know, Megs. I've tried every career there is. Prince, Hitler. Maybe I'm just not qualified for anything.
That's not true. You're a great husband, a good-hearted man. You've got big, muscular teeth.
Thanks, Meg. And I guess now I'm qualified for this. Unemployment!
But Meghan was always the bigger target. Her polished sound bites were called Oscar speeches for an audience of one. In comedy clubs, there's no network censor, no polite chuckle. The laughs are raw, loud, and often cruel. And every brutal one-liner spread online instantly, giving the public fresh ammo to keep the ridicule alive. By the time these sets went viral, Meghan's image wasn't just damaged, it was shredded. And nobody in those crowds was asking for it to be put back together.
I said H was H was accepted. H has been, H is, and H called me. In with H, and H was out, and with H.
When South Park gets you, there's no coming back. The worldwide privacy tour episode didn't just poke fun, it permanently welded Meghan and Harry's hypocrisy into pop culture. The animated versions of the couple screamed for privacy through megaphones while flying on a private jet, a visual gag so sharp it didn't need a single word of explanation. The satire was brutal because it was exact. Every contradiction they'd ever made was distilled into a 20-minute roast that replayed endlessly online.
We want privacy! We want privacy! It's so quiet and empty here. If we moved here, then people would think we're really serious about wanting to be normal. It does seem perfect, doesn't it?
Other shows piled on. Family Guy reduced them to a 2-second throwaway line about getting millions for doing nothing, and it hit harder than a monologue.
Your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Animated satire works differently. Once you're a caricature, that version of you sticks in the public's mind longer than reality ever will. The damage here wasn't just comedic, it was psychological. When audiences start laughing at your cartoon self more than your real one, your control over your own image is gone. By the time the credits rolled on South Park, Meghan wasn't just mocked, she was immortalized as a symbol of performative victimhood. And no press statement or exclusive interview could ever erase that drawing.
Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me! What matters is what we have on the inside.
Bill Maher didn't come with props, skits, or cartoon versions. He came with something far more dangerous, cold logic.
That you don't call another human being Your Highness?
Where other comedians mocked Meghan's quirks or contradictions, Maher dissected the entire strategy. He called out the hypocrisy of wanting the perks of royalty without the responsibility, the fame without the scrutiny, the spotlight without the heat.
The woman who destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her, she's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
In his words, it wasn't a scandal. It was a business model built to collapse. He contrasted their endless grievances with the stoic silence of Queen Elizabeth, a woman who endured decades of relentless press without turning it into a Netflix special. The comparison was devastating. One side looked dignified, the other looked desperate.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
Maher's real punch landed when he said the world isn't obligated to play along with your personal drama. That single line stripped away the victim narrative and exposed the entitlement beneath it. No shouting, no cheap shots, just a blunt truth that left the audience nodding instead of laughing. By the end, Maher hadn't just roasted Meghan, he'd diagnosed her brand, and the prognosis was terminal. A self-inflicted implosion, wrapped in a royal title and sold as tragedy.
Here today, Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
By now, Meghan's image wasn't just dented, it was shattered into 1,000 memes, punchlines, and one-liners bouncing around the globe. What started as a single Chris Rock joke had snowballed into a cultural verdict, delivered not in courtrooms, but on comedy stages and social. The most brutal part? The laughter had outlived the news cycle. Even when Meghan and Harry tried to pivot to charity work or rebrand with polished interviews, the public heard every word through the echo of those jokes. Every statement sounded rehearsed. Every photo op looked staged. The roast had become the filter. And that's the danger of becoming comedy shorthand. Once your name means performative hypocrisy in pop culture, it's over.
Look at that face. She's not happy.
Oh, yeah, it's so hard to be pretty. So your life is so hard. You're a fucking princess.
Politicians survive scandals. Celebrities recover from PR disasters. But when your brand is reduced to a smirk and a punchline, you can't rebuild it, you can only live under it. The court jesters of the modern age had spoken, and the sentence was permanent. Meghan's narrative wasn't taken from her by the press, the palace, or even Chris Rock. It was taken by the world's laughter, and laughter doesn't give anything back. And that's the thing about this whole saga. It's not just about one joke or one special. Chris Rock may have been the spark, but the firestorm has spread far beyond stand-up stages. Every contradiction, every overplayed grievance, every desperate grab for relevance, it's all now part of a permanent public record written in punchlines.
Prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend.
Meghan Markle's sitting here talking about, like, yeah, I gotta prove that I'm pretty. And while she's a pretty woman sitting across from a bratwurst. Yes.
But here's where it gets even uglier, because Meghan's drama isn't just burning bridges with the public. It's torching relationships that once gave her and Harry the credibility they can't buy back. One of the most damning examples, the implosion of Sensibility, the charity Harry once called his life's work. If you think the comedy world was brutal, wait until you see what happened when Sophie Chandauka, one of the most respected figures tied to that mission, decided she'd had enough. It's not just a disagreement, it's a slam heard around the world. And it left Harry absolutely fuming. You can see the full breakdown right now in my last video, only on Star Spotlight, where the real royal stories get told.